Okay, hello friends and followers and Drake aficionados. I know I said I was not going to do any more Drake work, and I most likely will not. However, I've had this R4B here on the bench for a bit. This is one I bought in the Drake buying insanity frenzy I had. And anyway, I've been trying to get the AVC voltage reasonable in this thing, and what I found initially was when I would go to AVC off, when you want to use the manual that Drake supplies to do an alignment, this voltage on test point 2 has to be below around 1 point something volts. Can't be above 2 volts. Anyway, my ABC voltage here, I'm testing it right there on the ABC. I think one pin was always higher than like 2.3, so that was out of range. The S meter could not become zeroed with the zero control. So I took all the relevant tubes out, all the IF tubes, all 4 tubes, 2 tubes per side of the bridge. Those have all been removed from the radio, and I just wanted to now check the static voltage on the ABC line. Anyway, long story short, in the last video you saw me suspecting this little NPN here that's in here. The schematic calls out that transistor, and that one is called Q4 in the schematic. It's right there. And what's that guy called? I'm looking for the number of it here. 2N3877. And that's sort of, I guess, a high gain amp, an NPN high gain amp. Anyway, so in the last video, I sprayed some chill on that thing, and it would vary a lot. So I thought, well, let's yank it out. So I did take it out and replaced it with a kit. So I got this kit from Amazon, and I replaced it with the BC550. So there's the BC550 right there. And here's the BC550 on the screen here. Then I looked up to see how it was wired, and of course the pins are different. So this has, different pins than the other one. Of course it has to be that way. So collector, base emitter, and the other one has the pins, I think, like, what is it? Anyway, I just mucked around with the pins to get it right and get it in here correctly. And it looks like I finally got it in correctly here. And long story short is that the voltages now are reasonable on this thing. All the tubes are out. IF tubes are out and all that, and the RF amp tubes are out. But anyway, I can muck around now with the ABC control here, and there's ABC off. There's fast AVC right there, and that's more what I want to see. And there's again slow ABC, and there's AM. Doesn't change it a bit. So that's good, because that's going to get my S meter down to a reasonable level, and I'll be able to use the zero control to zero it. So what happened was this circuit, by not performing correctly, with this transistor not performing correctly, caused the receiver to think it had signal when it didn't. So it thought it was getting stimulation from the RF. It was not, and so the S meter was upscale up on an S5, and it was really not receiving anything, and the receiver was more deaf in the ABC, slow and fast. So that probably fixes all this stuff. I probably got a couple hours in this thing, studying the schematic, debugging it, checking all the resistors in here to make sure everything was reasonable before I suspected this guy. So let's give this thing a sanity check here, just to see. In the last video, I froze the old transistor with a freeze spray. Okay, so I'll subject this one to some chill and see if it changes. So right now we're at .955. Anyway, this being a new device, it shouldn't change, but let's see what it does. Okay, there's some chill on there. I'm watching the meter out of the left side of my eye here. I don't really see it changing. Anyway, there, I've soaked it. It's changing a little bit, but it's not changing a lot. Like the other one would go up a volt, volt and a half, or go down a volt, volt and a half. And the other one never got down to this voltage. So this should really this receiver should really perform well. Now it should be a lot more sensitive than it was, because the amps are more toward positive and they're not cut off. So the grid voltage is more positive, giving those amps more drive. So anyway, that's it. Let's put the tubes back in this monkey and see what it does. So The next video will explore how it works with the tubes back in it and see if it is reasonable. Okay, well, again, Drake R4B fixing the AVC, AGC problem by replacing good old Q4 here with a BC550, which has about the same 70-volt voltage characteristics, and it has an amplifier characteristic. So that one, at least for now, might be a good replacement. Let's try it out and see. Okay, see you in the next video. Off we go.